Bonjour and welcome to Baronneries. We're going to continue towards the third episode of this series, and we are going to the gauntlet fight, at least the first part, so I hope you enjoy. I will not make another review of the builds that I have, and I will try to reduce the amount of rules that I'm going to share. It's probably more going to look like a review video of the fight that will happen, or the fights that will happen. And hopefully you will appreciate this little change of format. Last time we left off, we were going to get into the next part of the masked exam, the next encounter. I forgot to talk about one thing in the story. There's a point where they cross a Earth Loa, which is, from what I gather, like a big golem earth elemental something, and Nightingale was actually in danger from its attack, and Rook saved her in extremis. She was holding on to dear life from falling into a pit. So it's important because I realized later in the story that it will come again, and I wanted to make sure that you know about this part. Alright, so let's start with the encounter page. The Gauntlet Chamber 1. Win condition. Adventurer ends their turn on the blue exit, or lose condition. All adventurers are defeated. Again, special encounter rules, grading system. We have to kill as much as we can to earn points, and the defeated adventurers will remove 5 points of the total for each of them. I've already loaded the fight here. We see in this map that we've got a little bit of obstructing terrain here, added tiles of obstructing terrain here as well, a blue totem. We will be able to trigger it from these squares. A lot of water here, so reminder, -1 movement per square, and we cannot dodge at them. They don't dodge either anyways, it's not in their AI sheet. We've got the exit that they guard here, and we can see the starting place here. This is going to be the end placement of the characters. It will really depend on the initiative how it will turn out, but I think it's the best way for now. Now let's review the Water Loa AI sheet. We've got as passive H2O, so the Water Loa has Arcane and Elusive. Arcade makes it so that attacks that we deal to them cannot benefit from symbols. None of them. No shield, no books, no stars. But it doesn't affect spells. So this is a good way, I guess, to attack them, although they have high conviction. And they are also elusive, which makes them able to not provoke break attacks if they move out of range. Although if they are forced to move with push, pulls, and stuff like that, which we don't have yet anyways, they would provoke break attacks. Second point of passives, they are not affected by water terrain, which means that they can dodge, I guess, but it's not in their AI for now. Maybe in a higher level Loa, we will see that. And they may never choose to leave it. They have to be in water. So choose is important. It means that we could, I guess, push them out of it, but they cannot move out of the water. When the Water Loa affects an opponent with a spell or hits with an attack, we place a water token under that target. So this creates a little bit of puddle, and it makes them able to move there, I guess, and it also prevents our allies from dodging if they are in that water token area. Now let's see the conditions. First one, is there a figure with an SOI with an effect? It can be a positive or a negative one. If it's negative, it's another Water Loa, it will remove it from them. And if it's a positive effect on one of our characters, they're gonna remove it. Continue down. This indicates that we always begin with this, all right? Even if it's negative, then we search for another condition that's true. So the first one, is there more than one opponent adjacent? Make an attack, and we target the one with the most damage. Then we place water tokens on all adjacent spaces to the Water Loa, which creates a lot of places for them to move onto, and then move to the farthest place possible from any opponent, so they flee. Second one, is there an opponent with an SOI? We will try to avoid this one. Cast a spell 6. The priority is on the one with the lowest conviction value. They deal magic damage of 2 plus the difference rolled between conviction value and their force check. And finally, last condition, AI. Can it move and attack an opponent within range 6? They move to be at up to range 6 from the nearest opponent. Then they make a range 6 attack against the opponent with the lowest total armor value. This is important because Rook has a 4 and the other ones all have 1. Placing him might be advantageous in some way. There's going to be things to think about with this. Symbols, we've got +1 to attack roll with books, so that's very, very bad. And we've got stars, they will heal 2 as a follow-up action. White and teal conviction dice, casting die white, 12 health, 9 defense, and 6 movement, 0 armor. Very weak combat dice, only 2 purple, so I will really try to make them come to us by triggering this one as much as I can. It really depends on the order of the initiative. We will see. So let's shuffle this and flip it. Alright, so they begin. They will, I guess, advance, and we will see how it goes. I advanced the Loas simultaneously because there was nothing that could change this step for them. Alright, so I'm pretty happy that they begin because, they really had to move a lot to get to us. And we will do the attacks now. So we start with the red one. Alright, so their turn was really not super good for them. They missed both attacks, and I dodged both of them, but they missed even if I wouldn't have dodged. Zeke moved in position, followed by Remi. That got to place a plank right under Zeke's feet to help out with avoiding water tile penalties. Rook went after, approaching Zeke. Both was now in his SOI. The burly man landed a courage stifle on the red lady, dealing 8 damage. That's a good chunk of health there. And finally, we've got Nightingale that simply moved closer. Let's flip this and shuffle it. Remi goes first. She started off nicely with a hit of her wand of missiles, one of the few that landed. Unfortunately, I forgot about the arcane tag. The Loas have thought I dealt 3 damage when I only dealt 1 in fact. The next few cuts will show variations in card exhaustion and SP expenditures because I initially tried to provoke break attacks but made mistakes in my movement steps. In the end, spending no SP and simply using my buckler to provoke 1 break attack, missing a dodge and suffering damage. Good work, Remi. And it's gonna be their turn. The Loas only landed the first spell on Nightingale, which gave her a vow token and should have created a water tile under her. Fortunately, spells can be dodged, so this submission wouldn't have really affected the rest of the fight. Nightingale's turn came right after, and again, the arcane tag was out of my mind and landed a hit that shouldn't have dealt damage because of this. That would have left the red Loa with still 4 HP. At this point, I would probably have spent Nightingale's last 2 SP to attack again and hopefully hit and spend my vow token, but this is conjecture, unfortunately. Rook hit a nice stifle upon the purple Loa. Would I have targeted the red one if it was still alive to ensure a kill? I don't know, probably. I'm a bit angry at myself for forgetting those 2 rules, but yeah. Zeke's turn landed a first hit and would have had a potential of a second attack. Again, the initial strike shouldn't have dealt as much damage as it did, thanks Arcane. All in all, I think I would have been able to kill one of the Loas and probably the second one too, since Zeke and Remi appeared before the Loa initiative card that I forgot to remove from the row. We'll never know, but I'm confident the end result of this whole gauntlet thing wouldn't have been that much different. I will try to really be cautious with the arcane and elusive tags of the water Loas in the next battles. And Remi flies in to the blue totem, the red revealer. Place the blue loot token on the west side of this totem. Unfortunately, your joy is cut short. We've got 2 cave sickles spawning on any occupied space on the east side of the tile. So Remi is able to finish her move and activate the blue loot. We'll find 2 random consumables. In addition, stuck to the bottom is a large coin. The proctor will be interested in this. Gain 5 bonus points. So a beer and blessed bottle. And so by spending all my resources to move the shield, the core, and everything, shady training, I was able to return back there with Remi. Now it's the turn of the cave sickles. Let's see what we have in store. They both made ranged attacks that did not hit. Rook did dodge, but it wasn't necessary. The red cave sickle came in closer, tried to attack in melee. It did not hit. Unfortunately, it didn't have any SP to counter, so they will have to make a poison attack. That's not very good. And so Rook earns a poison. Remi did a really nice hit at 8, 9, 10, 11, plus empowered 3 shields, one-shotting it. And finally, Rook has dealt a little bit of poison damage, 3 damage here, and I tried to make a courage stifle with Lended, so that's 8 damage, 2 over the 6 HP of the cave sickle, which kills it instantly. Let's loot. And another 8. I guess 8 and 6s are mostly what I get from loot here. Beginning with Rook. He's gonna try to move out of here. And finally moving onto the exit. Alright, so this ends the Chamber 1 of the Gauntlet. I hope you appreciated this new format. It's much shorter, there's less room for me to joke around and make references. We rolled no skulls today. Very happy about that, to break this bad luck that we had last encounter. And so a quick review of the builds that we had. I really like the movement that Remi has. She's super useful to trigger things quickly, maneuver around like hindering terrain and water. I really love this. Finally, she was able to hit with the wand of missiles, but again, like what makes her shine is really her movement. Then we've got the Countermaster. Wasn't a very big counter fight because of all the water around, so he couldn't dodge, and it wasn't really a time for him to do that much. But still, he was able to bring a little bit of aggro onto him. We've got the Vowed Masochist. Dealt a lot of damage with the swords. Finally earned a Vow token that I did not have to use yet, so... well, you know, at least I've got one. Very happy with her. I'm good with that. And finally, Rook Lars. Honestly, very good courage stifling today, Mr. Rook. Happy with that. Please like, subscribe, drop a comment. Tell me if you enjoyed this fight. Tell me if you enjoyed this format. And I'll see you next time.